Gold Game presented by Meyer. There is nothing.
He wants to be in the right protection every time. He wants to change the run pace to pass plays. He wants to change the pass plays to run plays. I want to see him just have full control of the offense today.
This is the first spring since your second spring that the quarterback, the starter, is set. It's the first time that we've had Notre Dame come back with a starter that we knew was going to be the fall starter in C.J. Carr. We'll see what he does. A lot of new faces out there as well. Mylan Graham in motion, new receiver from Ohio State. Carr will throw on the first play, and it's complete. You'll also see on this first series, it's thud. They won't tackle to the ground. It gives guys a chance to get on the field. Micah Gilbert makes the first catch of the game. 8-yard pickup for Carr on the first throw. And let's just see how he runs this first series. We know he was so poised last year. It feels like everyone thinks he can even take it up another notch this year in year 2. On 2nd and 2, Aeneas Williams is in the game as the back. Carr rolls right, throws. There's Mylan Graham. Oh, and Don Schuler lays him out, and it's incomplete.
I love opening up with 2 pass plays. I can see C.J. Carr saying immediately, I want to start this game with a pass play. Here we go here. I love this. It's just a quick rollout to the right. C.J. is so good at throwing on the run. He actually sets up here. He's always going to give his guy a chance. That's one thing C.J. is going to do. It's just a great play by Don Schuler.
Mylan Graham, number 3 in blue. You see, played 9 games last year for Ohio State, had 6 catches. They expect a lot out of him. He's really popped in the spring. Don Schuler, the captain, makes him earn it. Now it's 3rd down and 2. Williams is the back. He'll get the handoff, and he's got the first down. Again, they won't tackle to the ground, but he does get enough to move the sticks.
I love the running backs. This is going to be awesome. Like we just talked about, it is an impossible running back group to replace. But Aeneas Williams is the guy that the Irish want running the ball. He is a one-cut back. He loves protection, but also when we were at practice, he runs all the routes with the receivers. He's a guy that's running corner routes as a receiver. He's got great hands. That is a guy that CJ is going to target a ton.
CJ and Mike Denbrock both raved about him and Nolan James Jr. The guy we'll probably see second, their ability in the pass game. Of course, Aeneas had that big catch in the Orange Bowl against Penn State 2 years ago, was hampered by injury last year. He's going to get a toss here and make the catch at midfield before going out of bounds. There he is in the pass game, right on cue. Sometimes,
Tony, there are players who are hard to throw the ball to. They're just, the way they turn their body, the way, it's just difficult.
Would you like to name any names?
I do not. I'm going to be safe here today, but just the way that he ran that arrow route, we call it, to the sideline. He doesn't give you much room with the shoulders, but he did there because he's always good at getting open.
Opening series of the blue gold game. C.J. Carr on 2nd down has a clean pocket. He's taking a shot. Micah Gilbert's there, and it's broken up in the end zone. Great coverage by Jaden Sanders, the transfer from Michigan, in one-on-one.
Let's take a look from behind the defense here. This is awesome. C.J. Carr is just like, let's come out here and throw it. So he's doing it looks like 4 verticals here, giving his guy a chance in the boundary. He's been going to Micah Gilbert all spring, so we're going to see that a lot today.
It's the second seatbelt I've seen from the defensive backs today. They're ready to go against the offense. 3rd down. The Irish just across midfield. Carr backpedals, fires, looking for Gilbert out of his reach, and it's going to set up 4th down. And now Marcus Freeman has a decision to make as the commissioner of the blue gold game.
So he's just a little off the mark here. I mean, it's going to happen. But what I love, look at the pocket presence. He even scoots back after his initial drop to gain some depth from the offensive lineman and get some vision back. That's one he's going to want back.
We're going to talk in depth throughout the day about this offensive line, but assuming health, it feels like one of the better offensive lines they've got going into 2026. As the offense will go for it on 4th down. See where Carr elects to go. He's going to fire, looking for Jordan Faison, who's been his favorite target in the spring. Mark Zachary in coverage forces the incompletion, and it's a defensive stop. The gold team will get the first points of the game as they stop C.J. Carr and the offense on the opening series. And they just get a stop there against the ones. There's a lot of confidence on the defensive side of the ball going into year 2 under Chris Ash.
Yeah, they really hit their stride last year with those last 9 games, hoping that carries over into this year. But he just seems a lot more comfortable coming into year 2, and I know he's excited to watch these guys play today.
I think everybody acknowledged that the first 3 games did not go according to plan. Now, there were some good opponents on that schedule as well, right? Texas A&M, Miami went all the way to the title game, but they really locked in that back 9. You see the points per game allowed. That would have been about top 5 if that was their number through the entire year. So they got dialed in, and now the big question is, can they start fast in 2026?
And that's what he talked about. He talked about the defense this year. They have all the skill in the world. It's about the communication. That's something he wants to see today. Is how are these DBs and linebackers communicating to each other?
Blake Hebert is in, and he's throwing deep downfield, and this pass is caught. It's a catch made by Cam Williams. He's inside the 10, and the second string offense is in business early.
Here's Hebert taking a three-step drop. He's going there the whole time. This was probably a progression with an option where he has taken his option route in the boundary of the field, giving his guy a chance, throwing the ball up. It's a great catch by Cam Williams.
Wide receiver room deep this year as Hebert's going to get a free play, looking for Williams again, and it's incomplete.
He liked him enough. He's hot. The receiver's hot. Let's go back to him. He's starting to feel himself. He got his first catch of the day. Let's go back to Cam for number 2.
Second time he's targeted Aiden Pouncey, the young corner who we talked to Leonard Moore yesterday, was really raving about his development behind Leonard Moore. You see Hebert, second year with the Irish. This is the thing we're going to keep an eye on today. Hebert and Noah Grubbs, the freshman early enrollee, kind of battling it out for this backup quarterback position, which we know is very important. You never know how the season's going to play out.
I've been in a lot of those battles at the backup position. I know exactly how it goes. You just got to control what you can control. These guys don't want to compare what everyone's doing today. Just control what you can control and have fun. Hebert's been awesome to get to know this last year. He's got a unique skill set. I think we're going to see him run a little bit today, which is something he's very good at.
Pistol formation, and Jonas Walton, the freshman back's going to get the carry. Stopped. Big pile of defensive linemen gobble him up. I think freshman Rodney Dunham was in there, a few others. You mentioned it in the opening, and the big boys up front, they really do draw your attention when you look at this defensive line this year.
We were at practice, and I was looking up in the air, and so were you, right? And we looked, and we said, this is a huge D-line. They obviously made it a very important in the portal, and with some other guys getting, developmental guys, getting them ready to go. They wanted size there, and size is not everything, but it is a huge part of the game.
Second and goal as Hebert has the offense on the move here. Walton still is back. A couple of receivers. They put Elijah Burris in motion in his second spring game. A high snap that Hebert handles, gives it to Walton, and he's in. The offense on the second drive of the game has their first touchdown.
I love what the offense is doing here. They brought the motion. It looks like man. It was man. They ran inside zone right off the center and off the guard. It's a great play by Jonas.
Jonas Walton, the 5'9", 214-pound freshman, big body out of Carrollton, Georgia. Top 12 running back recruit, gets into the end zone for the opening touchdown of the game. Spencer Porath, transfer from Purdue, is on to kick. He was perfect in the scrimmage a week ago, and he drills this PAT. So the offense has their first touchdown of the game. The freshman Jonas Walton on a handoff from Blake Hebert, and they're rolling here in the spring game. Goes third. Jadarian Price also goes 32nd, final pick of the first round. So 2 first-round running backs last year. Everyone here in South Bend was thrilled about that. We're joined now by the head coach, Marcus Freeman. Before we get to today's game, Coach, I just want to ask you, you also had Malachi Fields, Eli Raridan come off the board in the second day of the draft. What's it been like for you this weekend to see those guys make the step to the next level?
Oh, man, it's great. It's what it's all about. To be on the journey with them, to see them have those brief moments of reward. They work really hard for those opportunities, and so I'm proud of them. I really am. I'm proud of them.
Coach, what have you seen from C.J. Carr so far in his first drive and obviously in this second drive here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's going to make great decisions. Look like a couple contested catches that you would love to see us come down with. But, I mean, he's going to operate this offense like a pro, and he's doing a heck of a job.
Okay, what do you want to see on this play here? 3rd down and 5. You guys are backed up pretty deep.
Just some listen, when you're a backed up situation where you have the ball inside the 10-yard line, you want to see a first down. You want to be able to get out of. All right, hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
We're gonna punt. Listen, start the ball at the -5. 3 more plays. I'm sorry, guys. I got to be the commissioner too.
No, you got to do your job. This is important.
-5, let them know, 3 plays each. 3 plays, 3 plays. All right, so you know, you want to see your offense get a first down just so you can change the field position. You know, if you have to punt, you have to punt. But the objective is for the offense in a backed-up situation to get a first down, and the defense, obviously, to force a 3 and out.
Okay, 3 snaps now left in this series. So, and Ian alluded to it on that drive, but we talked to you the other day about CJ's development. What do you want to see from CJ going into 2026 now that it's going to be, oh, hold on, let's see if he connects with Micah Gilbert here. It's incomplete. What do you want to see from him going into next year?
I mean, he's going to continue to improve and work at all aspects of his game. The thing he does so well is he's able to put our offense in a position to have success, right? Whether it's a run check, a pass check, depending on what the defense is doing, he's going to put our offense in a good situation. So that's number one. Number two is continue to, you know, be efficient in what we do, right? We want to be perfect, but more than that, he's just got to keep being efficient and improve at all areas of being a quarterback for Notre Dame.
Coach, how about the running back position? We just saw Notre Dame running backs make history 2 nights ago. How do you, it's impossible room to replace, but what do you see from these guys early this spring?
You know, Aeneas has been non-contact for a little bit, and we were able to get him into some contact the past couple weeks. But this is a good group. As you look at Aeneas' bodies of work, you look at Nolan and Kedron when he gets back, those guys can run the football. They have great vision. They're athletic. They run the ball hard. And then I want to see what these freshmen do. Jonas looks really good in the spring. We'll get Javion back from injury for fall camp, and I'm really confident in our ability to run the ball. Not just because of them, because we got a really good O-line too.
All right, Coach, that's it. That's a good stand by the defense. We'll let you get back to work, and we'll talk to you a little bit later.
All right, guys. Have fun.
There's Coach Marcus Freeman. Has to be happy with what he's seen from the
stands, you know, all the details that go with his defense. You know, being able to see it and be around it for a second year is going to be really beneficial for our team.
He calls you the leader of this defense. How have you continued to embrace that role while not being out there with your teammates on the field?
You know, just trying to help, you know, the young guys, the older guys, just try to see how I see it. You know, a lot of the time, the linebacker sees more of everything than, you know, the DBs do or the D-line does, just, you know, where they're at. And so, you know, just answering questions, helping the young guys in the linebacker room try to grow. You know, obviously you got the older guys, the Boubacar and Adon and the D-line and DB room. So, you know, just trying to communicate with them, see what we need, and then, you know, obviously talking with Coach Ash, Coach Brian, Jean-Marie, and then, you know, new DB coach, Coach Henry, of what we need to work on.
All right, thanks so much for your time, Drake.
Yes, man, thank you.
Tony?
Thanks a lot, Caroline. Something that stood out to me there, Ian, is what we heard, I think, all day yesterday when we talked to Leonard Moore, Bryce Young, and Chris Ash ahead of this game. Drake Bowen said it's a lot more clear in year 2 under Chris Ash. They seem to be really comfortable now that they're in the second year under their DC.
You just can't underestimate what it means to see a playbook for year 2 and be able to communicate and work with these guys. They finally had 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Finally, which is, you know, when the year doesn't end the way you want it to go. You got to find the positive. They finally have 8 weeks to get together and work on their communication skills, especially, like Drake Bowen said, at the linebacker position. Nobody
wanted to miss the playoff, but that had to be a small silver lining as that play is stopped in the backfield. Should mention that Noah Grubbs getting the reps right now at quarterback. That's a big stop by the defensive line. Cole Mullins making the tackle, or Rodney Dunham, rather, in on the hit. And it's going to set up 3rd down and long for our first look at Grubbs, who is facing 3rd and long from deep in his own territory.
This will be an awesome rep. Welcome, freshman. Welcome, Noah Grubbs. Come on in. You're backed up. This is all about football IQ here. You cannot take a sack, but this is a great learning. This is a play that he's going to learn a ton from when watching film. This is a hard down. 3rd and long, backed up. Cannot take a sack. Got to get the ball out of your hands.
He was really confident. Slung it around the yard in the scrimmage a week ago. See how he handles 3rd and long. Gets it out quickly here on a screen. They're going to get some yardage back, but not enough for the sticks. So it's going to set up 4th and short for the offense. I think it was Logan Saldate who made the catch. 3rd year in the program. He's a guy who's, I think, in a group of a lot of receivers that could maybe make a case for reps in 2026.
There is a battle for wide receiver number 5, wide receiver number 6, and he is part of that. He is a guy I spent a lot of time with last year. We threw every Saturday morning. I love the way he runs his routes. He's got natural hands. He's turning into a leader this year. It's going to be an important year for him.
California native. Again, third year in the program is when I usually think that's when it's kind of sometimes, I don't want to say make or break, but you can really make a big jump year 2 to year 3. And Saldate is a guy at that position that could, as they're going to run it with Walton here, who has the touchdown so far today. You saw they reset the sticks. So on 4th down, Marcus Freeman declared another punt. You see the score go to 11-11 here. That's 3 stops now for the defense, and they'll just run the final plays of this 4th series.
I love it. Just thinking back for Noah Grubbs, all of these plays, they are so valuable for him. He's come in with a couple months, but one thing everyone has been talking about, especially Denbrock, is how fast he's been able to pick up the plays as a young freshman. That is not easy.
Let's see what they go to here on 2nd and short. Grubbs is going to throw. It's good protection. Now he rolls right, throws on the run, incomplete, was looking for Williams, and there is Aiden Pouncey, who, when we talked to Leonard Moore yesterday, the All-American corner, he said Pouncey's kind of been repping behind him and looks pretty sharp in the spring.
He said he's been very impressed with how he's come in and made some plays. He's had some PBUs that were big time in the scrimmage. Getting that compliment from Leonard Moore is a big deal.
No Leonard Moore today, no Drake Bowen, who we just heard from, but we expect to see them in the fall when they open up at Lambeau Field in September. And gosh, the defense, just going back to what we talked about with Chris Ash, it just feels like they are primed for a huge year on the defensive side of the ball. 3rd down, high snap, they give it to Walton. He's going to have enough for a 1st down. I think Walton's been pretty impressive here so far in the spring game. Every time he's touched it, it's been pretty decisive with his runs, but that's going to end this 4th series for the offense. Defense has picked up a stop on 3 of the 4 series so far today.
Yesterday.
It's beautiful. I got down there, I seen a cactus for the first time. The weather's good. They told me to get to about 120 or 115 in like August, so we're gonna see how that feels. But Arizona was beautiful. They call it the Valley in the Sun, so I loved it. So, and I'm really looking forward to getting back.
You got a wonderful ovation from the crowd here a few moments ago. Why was it so important to you to come back to South Bend this weekend?
It was important for me because this is my first home. You know, Notre Dame is where I, created the name Jeremiah Love. Before I got here, I was really a nobody. I hadn't built myself up to who I am today. So I had to come back and, visit, where I started it with. And Notre Dame always had love in my heart. I always loved Notre Dame. It always would go Irish, and I had to show respect to the fans, because they supported me my whole journey. So it was very important to come back here and to show love and do it one last time.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tony.
All right, thanks a lot, Caroline, and thanks to Jeremiah Love. I just feel, Ian, a couple things. First of all, great that you saw a cactus for the first time. Check that off the bucket list. I got the sense this year that people more than ever, and I want to include Jadarian Price in this as well, there was just such an outpouring of pride, I think, for those 2 guys getting picked in the 1st round. Everyone here saw what they put into the program. Coach Freeman has kind of sung the praises of both of them, and it was so great to see them both picked on night 1 in the draft.
Watching them both get rewarded for their hard work, both as 1st-round picks, was amazing. It's rare to have those 2 running backs here at the same time. But Coach Freeman talks about being selfless and doing it the right way. And a great example of that is Jadarian. He didn't start a game here. They shared carries at Notre Dame. And look, if you do it that way, you stay here and you let this program change you, mold you, it could work out for both parties, and it did.
Aeneas Williams makes this catch. She's going to be ruled down at the 40. Marcus Freeman also was quick to point out Jadarian Price was the guy. He says Jeremiah Love's going to get the attention. He deserves it, and we all know it. He was using Jadarian Price as an example for his team. Like you said, if you put in the work, you will get rewarded. And what a great example to just show you at the end of the 1st round. Jadarian Price got that reward. I also love what Jeremiah Love said about this being his 1st home. I know you came back. You've just moved back to this area. Something about you Notre Dame guys, when you go through the program and when you get on the other side, you all seem to want to come back, or the vast majority of you know how special it is to come back here.
I have a similar love for Notre Dame that Jeremiah Love has. This place brings you back. And when I got here in 2016, I'd been on record saying I'm not coming back to this place. I'm a California person, but here I am. I live here now during the football season. There's something about it. There's a special feeling you get, especially when you're getting recruited. I walked onto this campus and I knew immediately this is where I wanted to be. And this place will change you if you let it. And they recruit a certain kid to come to this school, and it might not be for everybody, but if you let this school do what it does, it'll make it better for you.
Okay, 4th down for the #1 offense. This is C.J. Carr with a lot of his top weapons. See where he goes. No surprise. Jordan Faison makes the catch. He's through a tackle. They'll rule him down around the 30 or so. That's been his favorite target really last year and throughout the spring. No surprise he went to Faison.
No surprise. He loves Jordan Faison. He says he feels so comfortable with Faison. How can he do that with 3 or 4 more receivers this year? That's a goal for them this summer. They're just running a quick little snag route, we call it. It's a great throw by him. He was getting that ball out quick. He has to. It's 4th and 2.
49 catches last year, 640 yards. You see the numbers right there. This is his first spring, though. Don't forget, he played lacrosse, won a national championship, and they've kind of raved about really the ability he's had to maybe take his game up a notch, focusing on just football this spring in South Bend as Aeneas Williams picks up 5 more yards. He was already pretty good. Hard to imagine that another spring could help him even go to another level.
And I imagine CJ was in his ear a little bit. Like, hey, we love that you are a dual sport athlete. That is cool. There are a few people that can do that, but I need you. And the way that our chemistry is, we need to continue that, and we need to get a couple more receivers the same way. And Jordan knows that the sky is the limit for him. He's always open, Tony. That's what I noticed last year. Every route, he's always open. He knows how to find green grass. He wins against man-to-man coverage. And I just think he's going to have a great season.
Williams again gets the carry, and he's going to pick up 4, make it 3rd down and short. Francis Brew, transferred from Pitt, makes the tackle. Just one more note on Faison. Again, his brother Dylan joined the team. He's doing the dual sport thing right now. He actually was playing lacrosse. They just went final. They beat Syracuse 16-11 today, and Dylan Faison in that game had a goal. So the Faisons find a way to do it every spring, it seems like.
It's impressive. I don't think people really understand how hard that is. To just finish a football season and go, pick up your lacrosse stick and figure it out and then score goals against Syracuse. Like,
at the highest level,
at the
#1 team in the country.
I'm a former lacrosse player myself, so.
What position?
I was an attackman. It was my off-season sport. I loved it. It was a great way, to stay agile, work on my moves, always behind goal, trying to score. I am a huge fan of lacrosse. I think it is a great off-season sport for football players specifically.
Yeah, Marcus Freeman, while Jordan Faison was playing lacrosse, was extremely supportive of it. Free play. Carr's going to take a shot, and he's got his man, Mylan Graham, with a catch inside the 5. And the Irish offense is in business.
Offside. Defense. That penalty is declined.
CJ talked about football IQ. Here he is. He sees the offsides. You got a free play. So let's take a shot. He takes a shot down the seam. If they're going to play one high zone, which they're going to mix in a little bit this year, you got to attack the seams, and he did a great job.
This is the ones versus the ones. Of course, no Moore, no Bowen, but generally you see Christian Gray out there, Bryante Johnson and Schuler, the safeties, maybe the 2 best safety or the best safety duo in the country's out there, and Carr is trying to tack on some more points.
And here's Carr again, switching the play.
Checks at the line, gives it to Williams. He'll lunge for the goal line, and he's in.
Back when I was playing, back in the ancient days, it feels like now, Coach Reese told me, when you can change a play, it's not as glorious when you change it to a run, but when you change it to a run and score, there's something about that where you feel like a true football manager. Here's CJ. I don't know if he's flipping the run or if he's switching the play, but the run in the inside zone right off the center and the guard again. One thing about Aeneas Williams is he's not going down on first contact. I know he's thud, but that's a guy that when he's hit, he's going to get a couple extra yards after that.
You talked about it yesterday with Coach Denbrock. Checking to the right run is maybe the most satisfying thing is really strong.
That's a common denominator here at Notre Dame. I felt that way with the quarterbacks. I know the offensive line here under Harry Heastand did everything together. Being able to see that and the same thing with running backs. Jeremiah Love just got drafted #3 2 days ago and wants to be back at Notre Dame's spring game.
So
that
cool.
Doesn't tell you. Oh, here we got a double reverse.
Double reverse. Faison drops it back to Grubbs, who then was looking for Nolan James, who got his paws on it first, and it's incomplete.
So they do a little trickery here. I love it. They want to get some momentum. They want the offense to start feeling themselves. They do a little double reverse flea flicker. Looks like the ball might have gotten tipped, but they're going to throw it back to the running back, Nolan James.
It's actually Blake Hebert who's in the game right now as quarterback. So we've seen Carr run 3 series when they were running thud to let him, I think, get out there primarily with Aeneas Williams, who's back coming off injury. We'll see if we see Carr again, but for now it's Hebert who runs the show on 2nd down. Was 1 for 2, but did hit that 53-yard bomb to Cam Williams. Throws across the field here. This pass is complete. It'll set up 3rd down. Let's go back onto the sideline and rejoin Caroline, who's with Jordan Faison.
Jordan, your first time playing in the spring game. What are your impressions?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, first time doing spring all together, so all practices were great. Getting better and getting closer with the guys. The first spring game, I mean, love to come out here with the fellas, Notre Dame Stadium, can't complain.
How have you seen the benefits of having a full spring in football for you individually?
Yeah, it's great. I can work on little things that I've been thinking of in my head and that Coach Brown's talking to me with. Just coming out and trying those things in all the practices and then out here, obviously, allows me to progress as a player.
What stands out about CJ Carr's continued evolution and growth?
Yeah, he's just so smart. The way he understands defenses is so fast, so quick. We're able to be in the right spots for him. He'll tell us what we need to be, when we need to be there, and it's just great playing with him.
We see the talent of this receiver room. What's it been like to be part of it?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, all these dudes, the youngins, the guys that have already been here, it's great. I mean, we're catching up to speed on the playbook and kind of learning the defenses, but IQ-wise, I mean, they all came in here, they know how to play ball, so they make our job easy trying to be leaders for them, so it's great.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, you too.
Thanks to Caroline and to Jordan for the time. He mentioned kind of the relationship he and CJ have. You've been to a couple practices. I saw the scrimmage last week as Hebert's going to roll out. He's going to run towards the sideline and wisely get out of bounds. What about that dynamic stood out to you with CJ and Faison in particular? They seem so locked in right now.
They understand what's going on. They understand the IQ of the game and when, you know, where he needs to be at the right time. CJ's thrown to a spot. So there's so much trust that goes into being a quarterback and understand that my receiver is going to be there at the right time, and I know it. He feels that way right now with Jordan. He wants to get there with other receivers. It reminds me of a guy that I played with for a very short amount of time named Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
Oh.
Kelce, it was the,
are those guys any good?
Just a little bit, yeah. You watch film and they knew what was going on before the play even happened. During, they would run routes that you couldn't teach a young guy because they would, you know, they would find a way to just get open all the time, and they knew exactly where Pat was going to throw the ball.
Something that CJ mentioned was that they have, you know, rules for the routes, right? It's like it's an 18-yard dig or whatever it is, but it's a little bit different for Faison. He just knows he's going to be in this Faison spot as opposed to where everybody else is supposed to be, and that's kind of what you're talking about, right?
It's very interesting. You have to have rules because you're teaching, you know, 10 receivers at once or 5 tight ends at once, but then you realize not every game is so cookie cutter like that, right? You have to have feel and play. That's a great catch by Devin Fitzgerald.
Yeah, Hebert finds Fitzgerald, who everyone's really raved about in the spring in that wide receiver room. Freshman, son of Larry Fitzgerald. You're dropping NFL names, so you may as well drop another one. He's one of 6 former NFL pros who have a son on this team, and Fitzgerald had a couple of touchdowns in the scrimmage a week ago. He's really been impressive in his first spring.
He had a great scrimmage, and I believe in genetics, and I think, you know, if he can continue to just keep growing and you know, not.
This play goes for nothing. Let's take you back a few years, or a few weeks rather, to the scrimmage. This is Devin Fitzgerald. Okay, makes the catch, runs down the seam, takes it to the house. He's just running away from defensive backs. Number 11. It's hard to not see the similarities. Look at this. We all remember this. The touchdown, it kind of gets forgotten because of Santonio Holmes in the back of the end zone. But for a while, it looked like Larry Fitzgerald was going to win the Super Bowl for the Cardinals. There are some similarities there, and you said you believe in genetics.
That is so cool to see. They caught the ball the same, they run the same, they hold the football the same way, and they swing it when they're running. It's awesome to see.
2nd down, they're going to keep it on the ground. Again, you got Larry Fitzgerald's son in the wide receiver room. You've got Plaxico Burress's son, Jerome Bettis' son, Thomas Davis Jr.'s here, the son of Thomas Davis Sr., who played in the NFL. I mean, there's something about this program, specifically under Marcus Freeman, that a lot of these former pros have said, hey, this is a good place for you to go develop.
I love it. They had amazing careers. They all have kids now at this age, and they've understood the value of Notre Dame. They didn't go to Notre Dame, but they want their kids to be here because they feel that this place is different, that it can prepare you for the real world, even after football. But also, this is, you know, high academics, the highest, you know, standard of football. You're going to play in huge games. They understand the value. It's cool to see them around campus. They want to be here. And I hope that these guys, you know, don't feel any pressure from their dad that they need to do what they did, but that they can create their own legacy here.
You saw Caden Finley, son of Jermichael Finley, and then Bryce Young, who going into year 3 boy, I think the sky's the limits for him. And we talked to him before the game yesterday. He kind of talked about that dynamic and that his dad is there if he needs him, but he's dad first. And that, I think, is what you hope, like you said. They don't feel that pressure. They're dad first. And if they need someone to lean on for football, they've got a pretty good resource in their back pocket if necessary.
That's a pretty cool relationship where he can call his dad and say, okay, this is where I need you to be the coach. Or he can call him and say, you know what, there's been some pressures and, I didn't have my best day and I want to talk about it, as a father-son relationship instead.
Fourth down, they keep it in the hands of Walton, who's had a ton of touches so far in this drive. I think he's got enough to move the sticks and set up 1st and goal.
Looks like they're just going to play some smash mouth football here. It's 4th down. They want to see Walton just get his pad level low, and he does that. He stretches right there for the 1st down.
Jonas Walton already has 11 carries. Sounds like a freshman in the spring game. 33 yards in that touchdown to open the scoring. Also made that catch along the sideline. So 1st down and goal. You see the offense has a pretty sizable margin. What we really need to tighten this game up, if I'm being honest, is a defensive score. And I don't know if we're going to get one, but that's how the defense can get back in this game. It's Blake Hebert in at quarterback again. He's jockeying for this backup quarter.
They were both created by explosive plays. The one where the defense jumped off sides, CJ did a great job of getting the ball to Milan. And now you're in the red zone and you went and scored. And then the last drive, I thought Blake did a good job of keeping chains moving, right? Being efficient on 3rd down. And blow the whistle. Yeah, it's good to see. You know what I mean? Good. Both guys, both sides of the ball are getting it working.
Coach, let's talk about the offensive line for a second. Let's talk about Will Black and Anthony Knapp playing off of each other this spring with the position change. What have they showed you that they can do?
Well, I mean, you look at Anthony Knapp, a guy that came in here and started as a true freshman on his left tackle. That doesn't happen often. But we've always known that we think his more natural position is guard. And he's done a great job in that transition. And Will Black came in as highly recruited as anybody and has really done a good job. Last year he redshirted, but got valuable work in, and he's done a great job as our left tackle. Sack, 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 sack.
Okay, so we're going to call that a sack. Coach, this is actually a thrill for me. We have some breaking news while you are on the headset with us. Billy Schrauth has just been picked, while we're talking offensive line, 5th round to the Tampa Bay Bucks. What goes through your head when you think about that?
Oh, that's awesome. He's going to Tampa Bay. They're getting a heck of a player, a guy that loves football, is tough, and he's going to help.
As an old offensive guy, Coach, I tend to be really lenient for the offense. If you want me to kill it quicker than that, I will.
Yeah, that's all right. You're good. They're complete. Don't worry about them.
Okay.
Don't worry about them. You got. Hey, I like it when the coaches get a little upset. I'm going to keep the game close. I'm going to find a way. No sack.
Okay, there's Mylan Graham getting loose.
But I'm sorry to.
Yeah, you're good. You got a lot going on, Coach.
You think about Billy, man. Now he's down there with Benjamin Morrison. That's awesome, man. I love Coach Bowles. I think he's a good coach, and I'm excited for Billy for this next step and next chapter of his life.
Coach, how about Eli Raridan and Malachi getting drafted yesterday as well? Talk about them for a quick second.
Yeah, Malachi, man, he is as a complete wide receiver as anybody that's been here. There's some questions about his top end speed, and I said, listen, just watch the film. And I'm excited for him to go to the Giants and do great things. And then, with Eli going to the Patriots, they're getting a complete tight end. And I think Eli's best ball is ahead of him. Is that an interception?
Takeaway, Coach. Takeaway in the secondary. Guess who?
Who was that, Snead?
I think Snead's got it. Yeah, Jalen Snead has the pick, and the defense has the takeaway.
There you go. How many points is that? That's 4. That's all right. That's fine. Get the 2s out.
All right, Coach. On what he's done here in year 2, let's bring in Caroline Pineda.
Well, Tony, Chris Ash challenged his players to build a relationship with their new position coaches this spring. Aaron Henry told me Adon Schuler put him in a group chat minutes after he got the job and said, let's welcome our new DBs coach. Henry didn't have any of their numbers, so he appreciated them all introducing themselves and said they made him feel welcome right away. And now, after working with Schuler all spring, Henry told me Adon is like having another coach on the field. He said his way of leading is just different.
Yeah, thanks, Caroline. Great insight. You see the 3 new defensive coaches that all come over to work with Chris Ash. When we talked to him, I thought what stood out as well was kind of his challenge to the players. He said, hey, can you guys make this easier? We can all get on the same page faster if you go meet with these coaches, whether it was like through the group chat or going up to the office and making a point to make those relationships closer. And he kind of raved about what the players did, taking it upon themselves to kind of bring the coaching staff together with the players faster.
I love that challenge for the players. You know, these coaches are new. They're trying to get their system in. They're trying to meet guys, know names. The players have a responsibility in that too, Tony. You should get up there and meet your guy. And the closer and the quicker that they can become closer and understand communication, start to get a feel for what they're putting in this year and how they're going to, continue to just elevate like they did the last 9 games of the year, the better they're going to be.
Aaron Henry, new defensive back coach. He played for Chris Ash in his career, so he's familiar. Was also at Illinois before this. Devin Fitzgerald's open in the end zone, and it's a touchdown. Noah Grubbs delivers a strike to Fitzgerald, and the offense is in the end zone again.
Let's take a look here behind the defense. I think he does a great job in the pocket. It's a great pocket. He throws a big box fade from the slot against man. The Irish have run this a lot. This is one of Denbrock's favorite calls. He loves the big box fade from the inside. He throws it with just enough air, and Devin Fitzgerald runs right underneath it.
Fitzgerald had 2 touchdowns in that scrimmage that we showed a few moments ago last week. Now he has a touchdown in his first ever spring game. And boy, he's really, I think, stolen some headlines in the spring, and now he's kind of living up to it under the bright lights of the spring game.
There's no doubt. And if his hands are anything like his dad's hands, we're going to be just fine.
Future feels bright for Devin.
What can you gain from a day like today?
It's unbelievable playing in Notre Dame Stadium, and you got to cherish every opportunity you get to, run out of this tunnel with your brothers. And so the goal today was to run out, treat this like a game, and just compete with every snap.
Coming off a season as the starting quarterback, what has felt the most different about this spring?
I just think the comfortability that I have now with the wide receivers, the tight ends, the running backs, the line, and our chemistry is on another level now, and we're just looking forward to continuing to improve that through the summer and into the fall.
How have you built that chemistry with the receivers in particular?
It's a lot on the field, but it's also a lot off the field and hanging out with the guys. Most of our time is spent in the goop, playing ping pong, hanging out, watching movies, whatever it is. And so just being close to the guys is huge.
We just talked to Chris Ash a few minutes ago about the chess match that you have with him and have throughout the spring. How have the offense and defense made each other better? Yeah,
like I said, we're all so close. Coach Free talks a lot about, brothers got to fight sometimes. And so during practice, we got to go out and, we're family at the end of the day, but we got to compete and we got to fight. And, in the end, we're going to make each other better.
As you finish this game and look forward to the summer and the fall, what will you focus on next?
Say that one more time.
As we enter the summer and the fall, where will your focus turn next?
Yeah, now it's back on to refining the little things of our offense, the spacing, the timing stuff, and getting back on the field with the wide receivers and just working the timing and being on the same page with things. If I tap something, I want them to see the field like I do, and so it's going to be a lot of fun.
CJ, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Caroline, and thanks to CJ for the time. A couple things stand out there, but let's start with what I thought we talked about yesterday after talking to him, and it's the value of this particular spring. When you're the returning starter, there's no competition. It just feels like he's more comfortable than ever at quarterback.
He's a game manager out there, and I thought it was amazing, too, that he said his goal for the spring is to just take all the reps and play more football. He just wants to run 1 reps. Every rep matters. Last year, he obviously split those in a battle. Now he's getting more comfortable. He wants to, know everybody and get to know everyone. He talks about hanging out with the guys. That could get overlooked. Understanding, especially in the leadership world, understanding how every guy on the team is led differently. It starts with the quarterback. And CJ hanging out with his guys like he talked about with Faison and playing ping pong. I've been in there.
Yeah.
It gets heated. The ping pong is a big deal, and he even talked about it in our meeting about who's the best ping pong player, but it's a great way to get to know the guys.
Okay, important note here. The last time Notre Dame brought back their starter in back-to-back seasons was 2019 when Ian Book was the starter. This footage, wow, it's in 16:9, it's in HD, it looks pretty good, and this was a big spring game for you, but when you had this spring, what is this like for you when you know it's your show?
Same thing CJ says, just getting comfortable. I wanted to be the best leader I could be. I wanted to take, every rep and give it my all, but it's hard to go back and watch those films. It's funny. It's like, is that really what I looked like? You know, time is flying, but I cherish every single moment in the stadium. That was a big spring for me, and you know, allowed us to go have a successful season.
I know I'm getting old when we're showing flashback footage of guys that I remember watching here playing when I was working here, so I feel old. You should still feel very young. I think what excites me most is just that second year. I mean, I can't believe, and again, they've done a great job of bringing in great quarterbacks. Riley Leonard, Sam Hartman did a great job, but you've got Marcus Freeman, Mike Denbrock, and CJ Carr all together for the 3rd consecutive year. In this era of college football, that is rare.
It's very rare. They're all just trying to get in sync with each other. I've said this before to you and to many others. I think it's truly impossible to fully understand and master a playbook in one season. So CJ going into year 2, you can now, you might know 70%, but now you can take it to 100%, understand the checks. A lot
of guys in the secondary on that run to the playoff 2 years ago. They, of course, didn't make the playoff last year. They're hungry this year. As the quarterback's Blake Hebert, and he's going to throw incomplete on the first play here. Ian, you did not play for Coach Freeman, but you have been around him a lot here in the 5 years since he took over. I have been so impressed with the way he has molded this program into a national championship contender. The culture seems so strong under Marcus Freeman.
There's no doubt, and I agree with you. My relationship with Freeman is awesome. I think he is the exact guy that Notre Dame needs to lead this ship to the national championship. He's a guy where I had a meeting with him and said, Coach, football might be over for me at some point here. I want to move back to Notre Dame, a place that invested in me. What do you think about it? I know the locker room is a sacred place. You didn't even coach me. Can I come back here and throw to these receivers? Can I be a mentor for the biggest quarterback battle that we've had in a while? We had a 20-minute meeting, Tony, that went over an hour. And he said, Ian, come back, throw with all the developmental receivers or guys coming off injury on Saturday morning. You can work out with us. I joined the lifts last year, Tony.
Ooh,
I had a locker.
What was that like?
I had a lock. It was great. I had a locker. I was in the locker room. I mean, it was awesome. And that just speaks to who he is. As a coach, you get one bad guy in the locker room, it can really take down a team. And he said, you know, he didn't even truly know me, and he allowed me to come back, and you know, that speaks to who he is as a person.
Yeah, I think what stood out to me when I was talking to him, because I asked him, it's hard to believe this is already going to be his 5th season. It's already his 5th spring game. Time really does fly. But he said the greatest lessons he has learned have come through failure. And they've had, again, he's had a lot of success, but they've had failures. They've had games they know they shouldn't have lost here at home, and the way they've responded is what's been so impressive to me. He said, learn you're going to fail, and you're going to find the answers that you need through that. That takes a different level, and it feels like the players have really absorbed everything he said over the years.
There's no doubt. All the players in the meetings 2 days ago remembered his speeches. When he talks to the team every single day, he always has something important to say, and when your players are remembering it, that means that they're in tune and they're listening to the guy leading the ship.
Okay, we've heard him talk a lot about delayed gratification over the years. That's been a big thing. He used Jadarian Price as an example. Hey, you might not be getting the carries with Jeremiah Love, but your time will come, and he used him as a great example for the team a couple days ago when he gets drafted in the 1st round. He gave me this anecdote. He gave us this anecdote. Thought it was fascinating. He said he always grills ribs, and he was talking to another buddy who's maybe a pit master of sorts who I guess does his ribs for multiple days, and he said, well, what's the difference? I've been grilling ribs this way, you're smoking them for 3 days. I don't understand the difference. And he said the guy told him something that stuck with him. He said, Coach Freeman, you are seasoning the skin. My seasoning goes to the bone. And it was just like, whoa, he rocked my world. And the players, Bryce Young came in talking about the salmon and the catfish. All the analogies have stuck with these guys. Like you said, it's not just coach speak. He's getting his point across, and they're all bought in.
Look, you have to get creative every day when you're going in there and talking to the guys. Obviously, he did. He's talking about ribs. He's talking about fish. It takes what it takes, but the fact that they're remembering it, you know, I think that's the important part. They came back, and, you know, maybe defensive linemen are just, you know, they remember the ribs one because they were hungry.
Good way to get through the defensive line as Logan Saldate makes this catch on the last play of this series. So that's going to bring an end to the 10th out of 12 series here in South Bend. The Irish in the spring trying to season some delicious ribs that they can check.
As a unit in general, I'm a defensive player, so I'm focused on the defense, but coming as a whole team each and every day and focused on getting better, you know. Focused on reaching our full potential and not letting days go to waste, but always getting better at something every day.
What have you seen from the young DBs in terms of that?
A bunch of growth. Like, there's ups and downs, and we taught them there's going to be ups and downs every day, but a bunch of growth and eagerness to learn, which has been great.
How would you describe the dynamic between the DBs and this receiver group?
You know, it's a competitive, fun dynamic every day. We talk a lot of trash. They talk a lot of trash back. You know, but it's an ongoing competition, you know. Even as we go to the season, we'll be in the same team, so we'll be rooting for each other then.
How do you make each other better in a time like the spring?
Just like I said in the beginning, just coming in every day ready to compete. You know, there's going to be days where the offense wins and days where the defense wins, but always coming in every single day with that mindset of they're not going to catch passes on me. So,
what is your favorite part about playing alongside Adon Schuler?
That's my dog. He always going to have my back, and you know he always going to be coming downhill to hit somebody. So anytime I need him to, you know, do the dirty work for me, he's doing it for me, and I'm doing the dirty work for him in the back end too. So, as
you look toward this summer, what are your goals for yourself individually?
I'm focused on just becoming a better team leader in general, and also getting fully 100% healthy, as well as just getting closer with my teammates, having fun.
Thank you, Leonard.
Thank you so much.
Tony?
All right, thanks a lot, Caroline. Leonard Moore has been incredible in his 2 seasons at Notre Dame, as that pass is incomplete. They're looking for Burris, and Luke Talich is around the ball again, had a nice PBU. Secondary, I mean, the names like Moore, Schuler, Christian Gray's been around for a while. They steal the headlines, but the depth in the secondary, I think there's some good players back there. Luke Talich had 3 picks last year. You know, Breontae Johnson was so good that it's hard for Talich to get on the field, but I feel like he makes an impact every time he's out there.
I like Talich a lot, and so do the coaches. You know, Ash talked about, and we saw at practice, he's done so well, he's going to be on the field in some way, whether it's third down and dime and finding different ways, you know, to put him on the field, because when he's in, he finds a way around the ball.
Okay, Noah Grubbs is in at quarterback right now. He's going to fire this one that's caught. It's going to be taken up across the 35-yard line. That's Curtis Smith, the running back, who makes the catch. Good to see some guys deeper on the depth chart get out here, make a play, try to make some noise in the spring game.
Just Noah Grubbs, you know, going through his progression again. I love it. I think it's so, you know, overlooked how hard it is to get here 3 months ago and understand a playbook and be able to get to read 2 or even read 3.
Yeah, Mike Denbrock said he's handled all the stuff we put on his plate, which is the big part. But he's picked off here. Intercepted in the secondary. The defense has a big play. Ethan Long takes it away, and the gold team will put some more points on the board. Did you jinx him?
I think we jinxed him. I don't even want to say it, but I think we jinxed him.
The Ian Book jinx in full effect. And the offense and the defense. Noah Grubbs is at quarterback, and we'll see what they can put together. Xavier Southall is going to get the carry, picks up 3 yards. Again, I know it's a scrimmage, Ian, but you can learn a lot and get a lot out of this last second drive here.
You can. This is a great spot to put Noah Grubbs in, honestly. They're going to be able to watch film on this drive and put him, you know, somewhat ice him. Let's put him in a tough position. Let's see what he can do. There's a lot of backups in here right now. How can they take this situation and go win the game for their team?
It was 4 years ago that Steve Angeli was deep on the quarterback depth chart. He orchestrated the game-winning drive. He scored a touchdown on the final play of the game. He, of course, played a huge role in Notre Dame's run to the championship game a couple years back. He, of course, has transferred, had some success at Syracuse. This can be a huge moment for Grubbs to maybe build on going throughout his career.
Yeah, and that's the nature of football, right? You never know when your number is going to be called. The whole point of that is when your number is called, you must be ready. And for someone like myself, that's how I've always played. When I do get my number called, I want to be ready. And if I get a chance to play, my whole entire goal is to never, ever come out.
Okay, so it's 3rd and 5. I mean, if the defense were to get a stop here, they would win the blue gold game. So it's all on the line here for Grubbs. 3rd and 5 with 3 receivers. He'll roll right, throw on the move, and it's incomplete. He had Saldate, but it spikes off the turf, and it sets up 4th and 5.
This is just a pure sprint out. They want to get Grubbs outside of the pocket. Just got to get that football. He obviously wants that one back, but the guy's just running an outside hitch route out there. He's just trying to get it to him. They're just trying to extend to the next drive there. Just want to throw that one a little bit higher.
4th down and 5. If the defense could get a stop, they would win the blue gold game. Offense needs a big play.
No punting.
No punt. 4th down and 5. Marcus Freeman's going for it. Grubbs will throw. It's Southall making the catch. He's looking for the sticks. I don't think he got it. Kuakia knocked him out of bounds short of the sticks, and it's a stop for the defense.
It's a great stop for the defense. Just running a little running back screen there. giving it to Southall. He's going for it. That's a great tackle there.
Great play by Kia. There's only 2 snaps left because it goes 4 and out. But now Marcus Freeman, the commissioner of the blue gold game, after awarding 2 points to the defense, it appears he spotted the football at the 25-yard line.
Would you look at this?
Okay, we saw this at the scrimmage a week ago. Spencer Porath had to come out and kick with everyone on the team surrounding him yelling, and now he's got 30,000 here at Notre Dame Stadium, plus his team surrounding him. Porath was 15 for 17 last year at Purdue. He's lining up for what appears to be a 43-yarder, which could win the game.